Okay, so let's dive in here.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know that feeling right after the holidays?
Oh, yeah, that post-holiday lull.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is that the decorations are down, everything just feels a bit, well, still.
Hmm.
Now, if you're someone who, you know, installs Christmas lights for a living, you really know this feeling.
Oh, absolutely. It's intense.
1 minute, it's like total December madness, right? And the next, January hits, and you're out there taking down all those lights
In the cold, yeah.
in the cold,
Yeah.
and it feels like the income just slams on the brakes, like hits a wall.
It's a very distinct shift. You've got this crazy busy period, and then boom, demand just plummets.
Right.
And for businesses that really rely on that holiday money, it can create some real uncertainty, about keeping things going the rest of the year.
Exactly. And that's really what we're digging into today. We've been looking at this really interesting article. It's called Turning Holiday Clients into Year-Round Revenue.
Right. From last April.
Yeah, April 2025. And it focuses right on that specific moment. When you're already there, taking the lights down,
Mm-hmm.
it frames it as this huge, maybe often missed opportunity.
Yeah. Instead of just seeing it as the end of the job.
Right. It's not about just accepting the slow period. It's seeing those takedown visits as like the start of the next thing.
Well, and what's really key there, and the article points this out, is the advantage you already have right then.
How so?
You're not some stranger,
Yeah.
knocking. You've already worked with these people.
True. They know you.
They've seen your work. Hopefully, they were happy with it. They've already gone through the process of hiring you, letting you on their property.
Okay.
That trust is already there, and that's just gold. It's a springboard you don't often think about.
Absolutely. The article really hammers this home.
Mm-hmm.
Your past holiday clients are your warmest leads. That phrase really stuck with me.
It makes sense.
Think about it. You are literally standing on their lawn right then. They've already dealt with the hassle of having a service provider there. They know your quality. They kind of know your pricing, at least for lighting.
The hard part's done, essentially, building that initial trust.
Yeah, the groundwork is laid. So, okay, you're there. You're untangling the inflatable reindeer. What's the first step? How do you pivot that into a year-round thing?
So the article suggests being strategic right then and there, during the takedown.
Okay.
Laying the groundwork, basically, for what they call these soft upsell campaigns later on, like spring or summer.
Soft upsells. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Not hitting them hard right away while they're still paying off holiday bills.
Exactly. It's more about planting seeds, suggesting possibilities for how you could help them enhance their place, at other times of the year.
Planting seeds. I like that framing. It's subtle. Shifting from just job done to what's next while you're actually talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of seeds are we talking about? Like, what do you actually say or do while you're there rolling up wires?
Well, one really effective thing is to show, not just tell. Like visually demonstrate the potential of permanent lighting.
Okay, how?
Imagine having, say, a tablet with before and after photos, or even just a nice little portfolio. Show them how clean and invisible permanent trim lighting looks by day.
Okay, because that's a concern, right? People don't want ugly lights up all year.
Exactly. Show them the daytime look, then show them the wow factor at night. You could just casually mention it, hey, we also do these permanent systems. They blend right in during the day, but you can control them with an app for any holiday, any color.
Right, all year round.
Yeah.
That directly tackles that lights are just for Christmas idea.
Precisely. You're showing them a different way right there.
That's a smart bridge.
Yeah.
They see you dealing with the temporary hassle, and you offer a permanent, more versatile solution. Now, the article also mentioned going back to people who maybe asked about holiday lights but didn't buy.
Yeah, that's another great point. Don't forget those leads.
How does that fit in, after the holidays?
Well, just because they said no back in, say, October, doesn't mean things haven't changed. Maybe they saw their neighbor's display and felt some regret, or maybe their budget is different now.
Good point. Post-holiday perspective.
Right. So after the dust settles, maybe they're looking at their house thinking it looks a little plain.
Yeah.
That's a good time to reach back out. If you kept track of those inquiries, even in a simple spreadsheet, or ideally using a CRM.
Like a customer management system.
Yeah, basically a smart database that remembers everyone you talk to. You can then follow up with info specifically about permanent options or landscape lighting later in the spring.
Okay, so on-site during takedown, subtly show the permanent alternative.
Yeah.
And after the holidays, follow up with those leads who didn't bite the first time.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk specifics. The article really pushed this permanent trim lighting. It mentioned OmniRGB specifically. Why is that such a key piece for year-round money?
Well, what's really kind of revolutionary about systems like OmniRGB isn't just that the lights stay up, it's how they stay up and what they can do.
They're designed to be super discreet. Like, they blend right into the trim, you barely see them during the day.
Invisible, almost.
Pretty much. Then the homeowner gets an app, and with that app, they have total control. Full RGB, color spectrum, dynamic effects patterns.
So not just on-off or white multi.
Oh, way beyond that. It taps into that desire for personalization, for making your home look unique. It's not just functional, it's aesthetic. It moves way past just Christmas.
Right.
You can pitch it right there. Imagine changing your lights for the 4th of July, spooky orange for Halloween, your teen's colors on game day.
Or just a nice warm white for a dinner party.
Exactly. All from your phone. No more ladders. That's a powerful pitch.
It really shifts the whole conversation, doesn't it? From Christmas lights to, like, total outdoor lighting control. The article called it a lifestyle upgrade.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. It's not just decoration anymore. It's part of the home's ambiance, 365 days a year.
And that means a pretty different income potential, I assume.
Oh, hugely different. The article breaks it down pretty clearly. A standard temporary Christmas light job might bring in, what, maybe $1,800 on average? Once a year.
Right.
An OmniRGB permanent install, that could easily start around $4,500. And the lifetime value, thinking about service, maybe add-ons down the road, referrals, that could be over $6,000 per customer.
Wow. Okay, that is a completely different scale. From $1,800 a year to potentially $6,000 plus over time from the same customer.
It changes the economics entirely.
The article even gave some average ticket sizes from installers, like $3,500 to $6,000 for a typical single-story house.
Yeah, and then $6,000 up to $10,000 or even more for bigger homes or commercial jobs.
So when you're standing there taking down those $50 string lights, painting that picture of a permanent, high-value system, that's got to be impactful.
It really can be. And another thing worth mentioning, especially maybe in that first chat,
Yeah.
is financing. Often there are financing options for these bigger permanent installs.
Oh, breaks down the upfront cost.
Exactly. Makes that higher price point feel more manageable. Turns a potential, ouch, too expensive into a, yeah, we can do that, when they see the monthly payment and the long-term benefit.
Okay, that's smart. So permanent lighting, huge opportunity. Take down a perfect intro time.
Yeah.
But the article didn't stop there. It also talked about upselling landscape lighting.
Right. Another natural extension.
How does that fit in? Keeping that relationship warm after the holidays.
Well, think about the customer. Someone who pays to have holiday lights professionally installed probably cares about their home's appearance.
Generally, yeah. Curb appeal matters to them.
So once the Christmas stuff is gone, they might start noticing other areas. Their walkway looks dark, those nice trees disappear at night. You're already their lighting guy or gal, you've built that trust. It's a pretty natural next step to say, hey, have you ever thought about landscape lighting?
Way easier than a cold call about landscape lights.
Totally. You already know the property, you know their taste, maybe a little bit from the holiday lights. You can literally point while you're there. You know, uplighting those trees would look amazing, or some path lights here would really improve safety and look great.
Right there on the spot, expanding their vision beyond just the roofline.
Exactly. Showcasing your expertise goes beyond just C9 bulbs. It's about overall outdoor illumination.
And again, there's real money there too, right? The article mentioned.
Yeah, it gave examples. Like a basic landscape package, maybe 10, 12 lights, could start around $2,000 to $3,500.
Okay, decent add-on.
But it can easily go up to $5,000 or more with more fixtures, maybe smart timers, different zones.
So you could literally double your income from that one holiday customer by adding landscape lighting later.
Potentially, yeah. That's the goal. Not just filling the slow months, but building much deeper, more valuable relationships with each client. Maximize that initial acquisition cost.
This all makes a ton of sense financially. But the article also hit on something else, something operational. Keeping your team together.
Ah, yes. The workforce stability aspect. Crucial.
How does offering year-round stuff like permanent and landscape lighting help with retaining good installers? Because that churn must be tough in seasonal work.
It's a massive headache. Hiring, training, then losing good people after a few months.
Yeah.
It's expensive and kills consistency.
Right.
But if you can offer steady work, installing permanent systems in the spring, landscape lighting in the summer and fall, suddenly you've got year-round employment for your best guys.
That makes a huge difference for them, I bet.
Huge. Less turnover means a more skilled, more experienced, more reliable team. That translates directly to better quality work, fewer mistakes, happier customers.
And I guess a more valuable business overall. The article mentioned that too.
Definitely. If you ever decide to sell, a business with steady, predictable, year-round income and a stable professional crew is worth way more than one that just pops up for 2 months a year.
Makes total sense. Predictable revenue supports a stable team which delivers better results, which supports more revenue. It's a positive cycle.
Exactly. A virtuous cycle.
Now, managing all this, the holiday clients, the follow-ups, the quotes for new services, the scheduling, sounds like it could get messy. The article recommended using tools, specifically Jobber.
Yeah. Having the right system is key to making this transition work smoothly.
How does something like Jobber help specifically with this upselling strategy?
Think of it like your business's brain. It keeps everything organized, all your customer info, quotes you sent, jobs you did, notes about their property or preferences.
Okay, central hub.
Right. So when you want to follow up about permanent lighting, you're not digging through old emails or notebooks. It's all there. You can set reminders, schedule follow-up calls or emails, send professional-looking quotes quickly.
Keep track of those conversations you had during the takedown, maybe?
Precisely. Keep notes like, mention interest in permanent lighting during Jan takedown. Then you know exactly how to personalize your follow-up later.
And the article specifically mentioned tagging, like grouping customers.
Yeah, that's super useful. You can tag all your past Christmas light customers. Then, when you want to run a spring promotion for permanent lighting, you can easily send a targeted email campaign just to that group.
Ah, smart. Instead of blasting everyone. Focused marketing.
Much more effective, gets the right message to the right people.
Okay, so organization is key. And then, delivering on these new year-round services, you need good products. The article mentioned lights for decorators as a supplier.
Right, quality materials become even more critical when you're talking permanent installations.
Why is that?
Well, temporary Christmas lights, okay, they need to last the season. But permanent trim lighting, landscape lighting, that stuff needs to hold up for years. Through sun, rain, snow, everything.
Good point. Needs to be durable.
Exactly. Using high-quality fixtures, wires, connectors from a reputable supplier like Lights for Decorators, who the article notes has everything from the C9s to the RGB stuff to low-voltage landscape gear, ensures your installations last.
Fewer callbacks, happier clients.
Precisely. Builds your reputation for quality work, which is essential for getting those higher-ticket jobs and referrals.
Makes sense. Don't skimp on materials for the long-term stuff. Okay, finally, the article talked about putting it all together with strategic bundles and promotions.
Yeah, making it easy and attractive for those holiday clients to say yes to more.
Especially right after the holidays, maybe when you're doing that follow-up. What kind of deals work well?
The article had some great concrete examples. Things like a Christmas client loyalty package.
All right.
Offer maybe $500 off a permanent lighting install, just for your past holiday customers. Rewards their loyalty.
Nice. What else?
A curb appeal upgrade bundle, maybe package landscape lighting together with permanent trim lighting for a discount.
Bundling services. Smart.
Or a spring refresh promo. Encourage people to book their landscape lighting installation early, maybe get a small discount or a free timer or something. Creates urgency.
Those are really clever ways to nudge them along, make the offer compelling.
Yeah, you're giving them a reason to act now and stick with you.
And then promoting these offers.
Well,
The article stressed using multiple channels, right?
absolutely. Don't just rely on one thing. Use those targeted email campaigns we talked about, using your list from Jobber.
Right.
Run some social media ads showcasing the year-round beauty and convenience. Maybe even use door hangers in neighborhoods where you just finished takedowns.
Stay top of mind.
Exactly. Keep reminding them gently that you offer more than just Christmas cheer. You offer year-round curb appeal and convenience.
Wow, okay. So pulling it all together, the big message here is pretty powerful. That post-holiday takedown, it's not the end.
Not at all. It's a starting point.
It's this prime moment to leverage the trust you've already built with that customer
Your warmest lead.
and introduce these really valuable year-round services, permanent lighting, landscape lighting, using the right tools to stay organized, quality materials, and smart promotions.
It transforms the business model from seasonal peaks and valleys to potentially steady year-round growth.
You can actually build a stable team, increase the value of your business, basically never slow down again if you play it right.
That's the potential, absolutely. Seeing those existing customers not just as a one-off holiday job, but as the foundation for ongoing success.
So for everyone listening, even if installing lights isn't your thing at all, maybe think about this. Where do you have existing relationships? Past clients, former colleagues, community connections?
That's a great angle.
What are the adjacent needs those people might have? Things related to what you already did for them or problems you could solve because you already have that connection, that trust.
Yeah, how can you leverage your warm leads?
Exactly. How can you maybe identify an off-season in your own work or interests and find ways to create more consistent engagement, more opportunities by looking at the connections you already have?
That moment of transition, like taking down the lights,
Yeah.
maybe it's finishing a project, maybe it's the end of a volunteer season, whatever it is for you, that point is often full of potential if you just shift how you look at it.
That is a fantastic thought to leave people with. Thinking about your own takedown moments and the opportunities hidden within them. And hey, just as a final note for anyone actually in the lighting business listening who's thinking, okay, how do I actually do this permanent and landscape stuff?
Mm-hmm.
The article did mention the ChristmasLightAcademy.com.
Right, as a place for training teams on selling and installing these systems, English and Spanish, I think.
Yeah. So if this deep dive sparked some real interest in that specific direction, that's a resource to maybe check out. Definitely food for thought.